So we have done with mineral. We have done with mineral nutrition, isn't it, Nana? Finished. Nitrogen metabolism also. In which plant nitrogen is translocated in the form of ureas, Nana? Through xylem.
Soya beans.
Which one?
Soya bean.
Yeah. Glycine max, FABC member. Ureas, which are of course obtained from urea breakdown. Shall we start, Nana? Vachara andaru? Okay. Oh, still I think some more have to come. But anyhow, we'll start. So the next chapter, respiration. Okay. And what does respiration involve? Basically, breakdown of food materials, isn't it? That are synthesized during photosynthesis, that are formed during photosynthesis. What for they are broken down in respiration, Nana? In order to release energy to be used by the organism. That's okay. But it has two phases, Nana. The two phases of respiration are right in the same way, Nana, flow chart form. One, extracellular respiration. Two, intracellular or cellular respiration. Intracellular can as well be called cellular respiration. Then what does extracellular and intracellular mean? Can anyone tell me, Nana? The extracellular respiration is purely exchange of gases, which is needed for intracellular respiration. Needed during cellular respiration. If it is so, can as well be called, also called breathing, which is involving inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling oxygen, exhaling what, Nana?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, simple. Whereas intracellular respiration is oxidation of food materials in stepwise manner.
Within the cell.
Food materials to release energy to be used by the organism. Required for organism. That is in order to drive various activities of it. Most of the activities in an organism require energy, which is coming from oxidation of food materials. So this involves, it involves, generally if you take O2 utilization, and what liberation, Anna? CO2 liberation. So O2 required, CO2 liberated need to be exchanged between the cells of the organism and the environment. So it is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the cells of the organism and environment. So let us take environment. Cell of the organism. So they were taking oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. From cells of organism to the environment, CO2. From environment to the cells of organism. What is in between, Nana? In between, so many structures are there. All the cells of the body of an organism are not directly in contact with environment. There are some cells which are deep seated in the body of the organism. So they need some agency now in between these two. Got the idea?
Yes, sir.
If it is unicellular organisms, you take now simple, the process is simple diffusion directly between environment and the cell. It is over. If it is multicellular organisms, you see different types. Animals especially need this more. Lower animals, you see, lower to higher animals, how the respiratory organs are facilitating. There were some undergoing cutaneous respiration. There were some undergoing tracheal respiration, some undergoing gills respiration through gills. Some were undergoing through lungs, which we call it pulmonary. Tell me, Nana, which animals undergo both cutaneous and pulmonary?
Frogs.
Amphibians like frog. So that is purely an exchange of gases, inhaling oxygen, exhaling carbon dioxide. And how, when it comes to the plants, is to be seen. And in between, you find several questions. First, let us finish up this now. So, confining to extracellular respiration, that is exchange of gases, nothing but breathing. In unicellular organisms, it is by simple diffusion. Then, in multicellular organisms, through respiratory organs. In multicellular organisms. It is by special organs that need to transport the gases between environment and the cell, which are deep seated. Maybe cutaneous. So that may be. Just to have an idea, Nana, you know it already. Cutaneous through skin, tracheal through special organs called trachea, or through gill respiration we call it, or lungs, which we call it pulmonary. As in case of animals, this is all is as in different animals. So questions asked in this regard in the textbook. Question number 1 you find in the textbook. Of course, it is easy, no need to emphasize specially because you also know it easily. All of us breathe to live, but why is breathing so essential to life? Tell me, Nana. It is to help in exchange of gases simply. Then question 2 you find, what happens when we breathe? What happens, Nana?
We exhale carbon dioxide and blood gets filled.
We exhale carbon dioxide, we inhale oxygen. Meanwhile, purification of blood is going on. Do all living organisms, including plants, microbes, breathe? Yes, they all need to breathe. They all need to exchange gases. Only thing is, breathing organs may be different or absent, isn't it?
Yes.
Next question. All living organisms need energy for carrying out daily life activities, be it absorption, transport, movement, reproduction, even for breathing also they need energy. And where does all this energy come from? Where from it comes, Nana? Food material. And where from it came into the food materials? By the autotroph, they have trapped it from sunlight and stored in the form of food materials. And how is this energy taken from food materials? We know it is by oxidation, breakdown of the food materials. How is this energy utilized? How is this energy utilized? Straight away, it is used first in formation of ATPs that we know. It happens in mitochondria. What was reservoir of ATPs in mitochondria? Remember, Nana? Matrix in the mitochondria were called ATP reservoir. When food materials broken, ATPs formed or stored in the matrix. From there, ATPs are easy to be transported as and when, wherever the cells or tissues of the plant or animal require. So they are easy to be transported. And ATPs are considered, in fact, quickest source of energy. Food material is not a quickest source of energy, Nana. When food materials oxidized, you get ATPs, so energy from there gone into ATPs. ATPs are quickest source of energy. Whenever they are hydrolyzed, energy released. Whenever they are broken into ADP and inorganic phosphate, energy released. Isn't it? So, next question. Do all foods give the same amount of energy? What are the food materials used for respiration, Nana? We call them as respiratory substrates, which can be carbohydrates, the proteins, the fats, in some cases, organic acids. All do not release same amount of energy, Nana. In fact, per molecule, if you take, it is highest in the fat molecules, followed by protein molecules, followed by carbohydrate molecules. But preference by the organism is concerned. First prefers carbohydrates. Then in the absence of carbohydrates, fats. In the absence of fats, proteins. Then finally, in absence of all these, it will be organic acids. Of course, organic acids is in certain plants, in certain organs or regions of the plant body. Then